All right, I'm gonna call to order our board meeting for April 9th, 2024. And the first thing is for public comments, and I see no public. I don't think we have anybody on the internet, do we, or Zoom?
No,
No. All right, so we'll move on to apparatus update on the new brush truck. So Brent,
Yes, so a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I guess now, Justin, myself, and Adam Cummings from Olympia Shops.
I can hardly hear you, so I know they can't.
Okay, flew down to our.
Come on over here.
Flew down to Dallas area to check on the completion of the brush truck. We did the final inspection. Nothing too major stood out, thankfully. Talked to our sales rep today and it sounds like they'll hopefully ship it out next week. So my guess is it'll take another week or so after that. So into April, early is when it will arrive at the dealership. From there, they prep it and stuff, and then it'll probably most likely go straight to Olympia Shops to have the radio installed. And whatever else little things we need installed, and then Justin will begin outfitting it, and hopefully it will be ready by the end of May, would be my guess. Yeah, so we're still waiting on, so we don't, we've had inconsistencies with door decals, so now we order them directly from Pierce. So we're waiting on those. Those will take another 4 to 6 weeks before they show up, but that
did
doesn't.
you say door decals?
Correct, like
Okay.
kind of like what we have over there on the.
Okay. I thought
podium.
you said details at first.
Oh, no. No. So it will just be unmarked for a while,
Nice,
but
nice.
so
Getting it right.
doesn't mean we can't use it and begin training on it. And I think we'll be very satisfied with it. I would, interestingly, when I was just in Maui, they've ordered like a dozen of them and they use the same brand, pretty much a similar layout. So I talked to a firefighter there and they were very pleased with theirs. So, 5. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Nice, okay. Okay, so we're on to the secretary report, which she's not here. So, does either of you have the COT update?
There's nothing too big in on it. They've had their meeting. Pretty much the details are lining out when they post which topic. The suggestion was brought back and everybody understood that we'll go ahead and not slow down the bond measure information. We're gonna get a plan for that and up and going and just coordinating out all that. So I don't think there's too much more detail there. Sure.
Okay. So then we have the approval of minutes for March 12th meeting and 22nd. We have 2 sets of.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 12th and the March 22nd as they are written.
Second, all those motions.
Right. So approved and seconded. You know, any comments? So, all right, so those are approved. And then we have the warrants.
Did you say, did we vote?
Oh, go, we should vote. All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Oh,
That's okay.
You were doing a mind meld, weren't you?
yeah.
It was a mind meld.
It was. Everybody agrees. Okay, so now we'll move on to the warrants. Anybody have any questions about the warrants? Heidi's really not here to answer, but I didn't have any questions. How about you, Dan? Any questions about the warrants?
No questions at all, thanks.
All right. So,
So I make a motion that we approve the warrants as they are and for the check register of 306/2004 to 4/30/2024.
nice.
Can I second that?
You may second it. All right, so all approved? Say aye.
I
Opposed? Okay. It's moved. The ones are approved. So we're on to master planning.
Okay, I've got actually 2 items with that. Oh, you can't, okay. Didn't know if you.
this.
Okay, yeah, I think that out too.
So this is the first step on creating an agenda. Sent it out. I haven't heard back from anybody. But if covers the areas that you all want to talk about with these subjects, then fine. And then what I'll do is start building up the meat around all the bones here and everything. So, and we'll have Heidi prepare a schedule for that as well. So it's going to take a little while to get all the information together, but before I did too much research, I want to make sure we were asking the right questions,
Right,
so I get
right.
the right answers. So I guess would like to get some sort of direction if this looks correct, or you have stuff to add or questions on it, or
Do you have an idea of which one you want to talk about first? You want to take this in bite-sized chunks? Do you want to tackle it all at once? What's your thoughts?
well, I felt that we could probably cover this in one session.
Okay.
Yeah, there might need some follow-up, but it addresses that as well.
Everything.
It would be pretty much in the
Yeah.
order that I've
Okay.
constructed it here, so.
So how long a session are you saying in one? Are you meaning, are we talking a 6 hour day? Or we
It
talking a 2 hour
probably,
day?
yeah, it's probably a 6 hour day.
My
I mean,
God.
after that, your butt gets tired and,
And your brain,
yeah, and your brain gets tired.
okay.
So I'm guessing it would, even if we end earlier, that's fine, but there's enough substance to these, these issues
Yeah.
that I think we need to talk them through.
Yeah, I definitely am, about the INR program, the transport, we've talked about that in the past, and I think it's something to look at. Because we're having to do transports anyhow, because the ambulances can't get there.
Yeah.
So, you still got, it's just whether we have the staffing for it, so that's gonna be I would think the big thing is, do we have the staffing to be able to provide that transport?
That would be part of the
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah, and then, sure what the third party assessment is, but I know they talked about a regional fire authority that, for the whole Thurston County, so is that what that is? Is that what that is? Or is
It's
that-
just, well, the plan would be to look, give some education what an RFA is, and I'm not sure you all know what that is. But also talk about some of the things that it has that may be a little bit different. There's not a whole lot of difference between a RFA and a fire district. But there are a few minor changes. Talk a little bit about what sort of RFAs have been established or tried in the county, and then talk about the pros and the cons, basically, and basically have some discussion of what the probability of being included in an RFA would be. And that would be pretty much it.
How much time does you and your team need to,
Pardon?
how much time does you and your team need to do your research, do your homework on this? We propose a meeting in May, June?
Well, it depends. I think it's gonna take a bit to pull this stuff together, but I'm guessing it would be probably early May.
Early May?
And I'll be gone
We'll be
most
on
of
the first.
pretty so middle of June to first part of July, so whatever we do, I'll have to do
Well,
Zoom.
when,
Or fly home for that
Or
meeting.
mid-May. We'll have to, Heidi gets to do that one part, figure it out when we're.
Yeah.
well, before we scheduled it, I wanted to make sure if we're including everything y'all want.
Yeah.
And then, when Heidi's well again and back to work, have her begin working on a schedule for it.
I guess one thing I do want to add to this, and you did an awesome job of this, I'm sure appreciate all the work that went into this, is just a little bit of history of how the RFA or the combination of District 7, District 8 went, the pros and cons of that, so a little bit of past history before we start talking about doing with somebody else doing the RFAs.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm not really sure, Regional Fire Protection Authority, is that like where the whole county is under one region, or is that something different?
It could be any number.
Yes, it could be.
There's no
two
talk
departments
of the actual
joining, it could be 3 departments joining, it could be 4 departments joining. It's the consolidate resources and join up together, so it's more efficient for the people that we serve as well as the firefighters.
Okay, and so when you say doing that, does it mean when we're purchasing equipment, that kind of stuff, or is it when we're doing calls and that.
Well,
Details that have-
the idea of the RFA really is, and I will go into more depth when we
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
it, but the whole proof in the pudding is the planning committee. You can merge whole organizations, you can merge portions of them, you can merge single function or everything. So it's what the planning committee decides to create the plan for what the RFA will be.
Okay.
And then needs to be voted on by the public to approve it and create it. So it can be anything from a partial merger of some function to everything in it. And dissolving the original organization. So anywhere from soup to nuts.
Okay, so, and then conduct a third-party assessment, would that be something that you would do in coalition with the RFA? Or is there's a third-party assessment just looking at it?
Well, that's a different subject.
I know, but I mean, it's a third-party assessment, is it just a third assessment of our district? Is that what it is?
It's another person coming in and making the assessment.
Yeah, so they evaluate you from top to bottom, and you pay a nominal fee, whatever that fee is.
Okay.
And they give you recommendations on what direction they think your department should go. So whether that's an RFA, fee for service, so they just give you some outside perspective
Okay.
of which direction they think your department should be successful.
And then you can take it or leave it, but
Yep.
they are,
Right.
they are.
Right,
objective.
yeah, and it's whether we want to pay, put out the money to do something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, yeah.
Okay. I
Well, I
don't,
think that's-
does anybody have any changes that you?
I will
Other
add some
things?
background. Actually, that was gonna be talked about in item 1, but yes, I'll add some additional background. Of the 7 and 8 merger.
I think it's definitely something that we need to look at. These are, you know,
I think it's valuable to.
new
So-
old things that,
Well, if this looks fine, then I'll have Heidi start working on logistics of a schedule and everything. I'm guessing it'll be a better part of a day. And it would be good if everybody could be here, but understand schedules, so.
yeah, I mean, if it's most of May at home, most of July at home, you know, it just depends. I mean,
Okay.
And like I said, if I have to, I'll just hop a plane from Idaho.
I'm only about to tonight, come home.
Try that, yeah, something.
Okay, good.
My
All right.
husband's got enough earmuffs. Don't put that in the notes, please.
Well, good.
Okay.
Will begin work on, put the meat on this thing, and Heidi will begin working on the schedule. Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
you posted.
All right, so
Dan,
now,
did you have any questions?
No.
he's in Spain.
The second item on the agenda was,
Not really.
as part of our goal 1, objective 2 is placement of a ballot measure for an excess levy at the primary election. So we're burning through time much faster than I thought. So
Yeah.
we, in order to put a ballot measure on the primary, for the primary election in August, we need to file a resolution by May 3rd. So what, I'm working with Brian Snur on putting together the resolution documentation. And we'll have that. I'd hope to have had it by now, but as soon as I get it, I'll share it. But my guess would be we probably should have a special meeting sometime between now and May 3rd to adopt that resolution. And I'm assuming that's what we want to do. So we're moving in that direction. I'll be working on the draft for the resolution, and then what we'll plan to do then is file it with the county on or before May 3rd. So that will be probably a second meeting that I'll have Heidi schedule so we can talk about it some more and hopefully adopt the resolution and then forth. Is that okay?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Okay, good. Well, that's what I'll do. And as soon as I get something back and Heidi again back in the saddle, then we'll have her contact you for that meeting as well, scheduling.
So that's-
And that probably will be a very quick one. I'll send the drafts out, and if you have any questions or suggestions, give me a response individually. And I will reply, and then hopefully we've worked out any of the questions prior to that board meeting, and then make whatever appropriate, adoption of that resolution, so.
Nice. Okay, we are moving right along.
How late do you typically work on your shifts? Cause you're Monday through.
Monday through Thursday, and then I'm usually off between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so 5:30 is perfect, only a couple minutes from here.
Okay, cause I'm just gonna be out of town from April 19th to the 28th, so that's, if we had to do it on a Friday, I wouldn't be able to do those Fridays. That might keep it 26.
You, could you zoom in?
Yeah, I could zoom in.
I'll have to
Yeah, that's
zoom
no
it off in
problem.
Arizona for that time. so.
I see that specific meeting probably be very short.
Okay, yeah, I can zoom in, that's no problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, again, I'll work with Heidi and she'll work with all of you about what your schedule looks like.
Right. Any other questions for Chief?
No,
Any questions, Dan?
No, thanks. I
Okay,
mean, I was just thinking too, that meeting probably should be rather short and a Zoom meeting.
yeah.
So it's kind of a burning of time if we try to get together all at once.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
Zoom is no problem.
So moving right along to commissioners' comments. Can't believe.
Yeah,
Looking through
I
this
think
meeting.
this is the shortest one in history.
Never
We have to
been
go
out of
until
control
6, since
again.
the agenda said till 6:40. 6:40.
Just got it. You don't have to.
We don't have any public on that thing, so. Cool.
Let's see if they can get a guitar player in here to do a song or two.
I should have brought my guitar, what was I thinking?
These guys will fall asleep after.
Do either of you have any comments? I know you're not commissioners, but we could add you to this. No, we're good. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so we have follow-up and review.
We will be putting together the schedule for the workshop on the master planning. And then as soon as I get more information back on the draft resolution, then I will get that out to you and we'll get that meeting scheduled as well. So,
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Right.
Adjourned.
wow,
We'll go as fast as we-
Cool.
that is a record.
It's not my fault.
I'll have to
Very
tell
well.
Doug what a great job that you did on the sharing. so.
got right through it.
Yeah.
She was quicker than blow. She was
Yeah.
just like.
Hey, Brent, do you have a copy of the newest? We're gonna talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was reading the copy. I have the drug and alcohol free, like, that's what we're talking about, right? Policy.
Tomorrow.
On the LMC, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm looking at it like, I think these are things we already talked about.
Which
And here's where, this is the one, when I first